Hello everybody, welcome back to From the Depths. Well, that sounds like I'm welcoming you back from after you were diving. Maybe you were, and after you got off your job doing deep sea diving to go do something on the ocean bottom, and you got off work and then you turned on the computer and you watch internet videos about games. Be that as it may. From the depths, I understand that many people looking at it, you could potentially be kind of intimidated by the sheer breadth and, wrong word, depth of all the options for building stuff. I intend this to be the first in a series of tutorials to show. I mean, we're not going to have to start with making, you know, a full-size aircraft carrier complete with aircraft. No, we're going to start with some of the simple stuff, and I'll show you how easy it is. This is going to be your first boat, which necessarily will include your first engine. And really, I believe that this tutorial series should advance. It'll just barely keep pace with my own understanding of the features of this game. Really, at the moment, I feel competent enough to make say, yeah, this tutorial will be your first boat with your first engine, and also have planned another tutorial, your first gun turret, which will probably come in a day or two. Before I do any more than that, I'll have to learn about it my own self. It's kind of exciting. First thing I want to talk about is the GUI. We've got something here. Let's actually go into options. This isn't the default GUI, or the HUD, it's calling it here. Let's change it here. Do that. Resume game. There we go. Yeah, here we go. This is actually the default. It's telling you whether or not you're in build mode, telling you what camera you have selected, and all these icons over to the right showing you how many of these individual resources you have available. And in the vehicle designer, you get infinite resources. You can just play around with all kinds of things. And the stuff over here on the left that changes whenever you scroll the mouse wheel, this is actually weapons groups. We'll just leave that to all for the time being. I don't intend to use that. But if you, go to, hit escape to get this menu, go to options, go over to HUD. Here's actually what I like: text. Take it off graphical, turn it on to text, and you can see which ones I have selected that I'm going to leave on. This is maybe not quite so pretty as the default buttons, but it is much more informative. It tells you things like how much engine power you have, what's your speed, what's your vertical speed, what's your altitude, how much drag does your vehicle have. This is the one I prefer, and I'm probably going to use that a whole lot. Okay, so first thing we're looking at is, I want this to be your first boat. There's a couple different ways that we could do this. You spawn on this little raft. I think that it's actually called like starter raft is the name of the vehicle. You could just immediately start building on this, but there's another way we can do this that I think will actually be better in the long run. Hit B to get into building mode, and yeah, you've got the green block there shows where you would start placing things. Down at the bottom, wood block, that's the kind of block that you have selected. Hit E, open up the menu for selecting different kinds of blocks. Go down to constructibles, select that. Up here, vehicle. And what that does is, instead of building onto your existing vehicle, which is, you know, this starter raft, now you can build it, start a totally new thing over here. Let's just give it a little bit of distance. How about right about here? Click, and it places a block. Okay, we have the all these vector arrows showing the three axes. This is what I'm talking about. These axis markers, these are all pointing to the center of mass of your vehicle. And you're also, you know, we have the big arrows pointing to, telling us which way is to the front. Here's one thing we can do. Obviously, you can start building, bobbing around in the ocean. Hit caps lock, and it lifts the thing up in the air. It no longer bobs around and floats, and it's stable. Okay. Okay. Next thing we can do, if we kind of look sideways, if we look, just straight 90 degrees sideways, hit N. N is your mirroring mode, your symmetry mode. Turns the mirror on. Actually, whenever we first start this, it doesn't give us the indication it's there. But then we go and we move the block. We're removing this, WASD moves it around. Spacebar elevates it. Alt lowers it, just one block at a time. It's a slightly different way of doing this than in the other voxel building games, but it really works well once you get used to it. Okay, and we'll push that in front. If you do left click, then it'll place a block and it'll move your cursor one space forward. Just one left click and it moves one space forward. And because I have the symmetry mode turned on, it also places a block behind you. If you you can actually look the other way and do a right click, and that will move your cursor. It'll place a block and it'll move the cursor one space backwards relative to the direction of the camera, relative to the direction you're looking. So okay, so there's 2. We want to make this let's go like 10. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that would be like 11 blocks long total, which is about right. All right. That's the beginning of our boat. Go over here and just kind of align with the center line of it and hit N again. And that will change the mirroring mode. It's so it no longer so that the mirroring mode, the symmetry line, is now along the length of our starter boat. Get right here alongside it, and again left click, push left click, and it places a block, moves you forward. You can just actually hold it down and it'll move along the whole thing. A lot like that. Let me see, do I want to, let's actually make it kind of squared off to start with, and we'll add a pointy bit after that. Okay, so do the space bar to move it up. Hit whatever key that is. What is that? S to move it back, or you can actually face it in that direction. Okay, now our symmetry marker is showing up. That's that white sparkly line. I guess it was kind of a bug that it didn't show up earlier. All right, and let me see. Let's move over one. And like that, and again start doing. Oh, okay. I want to stop and just say, whenever you're working with a boat in this game, or if the game thinks you're working with a boat, see if you place a block, and it immediately gives this kind of sloped. This sloped. It looks like there is a curve there. There isn't actually a block there, because you can tell if my cursor is green, that means I can place a block there. If it's red, that means that there's a block in the way. You'd have to remove a block before placing another one. I honestly don't know at this point if this apparent curve that shows up, if that actually affects the drag qualities of the vehicle. I really don't know that. There's a lot of stuff I still don't know. Okay, that's starting to look kind of more like a boat, isn't it? Let's go up another one. And we'll just repeat this another level up. Okay. Okay, yeah, that appears to work. It looks kind of boat-like. Boat-like is what we're going for. Let's go ahead and plant a couple more blocks just to seal in the back end of the thing. Boats are flat and, yeah, well, these boats anyway, they're going to be flat in back and pointy in front. So I actually need to build this up a little bit more. Let's do a right click so it comes out towards me this direction. And so, yeah, do something like that. I think that works. Let's do another block out this way. Another block out that way. Okay, yeah, that's starting to look pretty good. Let's make this front kind of solid-like. How about like that? Yeah, make it nice and solid. I think we actually, come to think of it, we want this to go out a little bit more, a little bit further, don't we? Yeah. Okay, that's looking very boat-like. I think I like it. There's another thing I want to do, just while I'm here. Because we fight with our boats in this game, I'm going to go ahead and add a weapon while I'm right here. My goal with this is to be a simple boat, easy to build, that will actually be an effective vehicle for the very beginning of the campaign. So you can use this just right off the bat. Build it with your starting resources. We'll see how close we can get to that goal. And I've played through that first part of the campaign. You don't actually even need a cannon for that. We don't need that. So we just need a simple weapon. Let's go down here. Yeah, hit E to pull this up. Go to simple weapons. Go to ram. And we'll stick a ram right there. And we'll stick, well, I can't really see what I'm doing, but you know, this is a good opportunity to actually demonstrate another feature. If I wanted to look this direction, wait for some of the sunlight to come up. Yeah, see the ram doesn't stick in that direction. But what you can do, come over here, look in a direction where you can see what's happening. Press G. G locks the placement rotation, so your ram is left. It knows that you want to place it pointing forward. There, put one like that, and put one like that. That actually looks like it's sticking too far forward, doesn't it? I think I'm actually going to move all these like one block in. Yeah, I think that starts to look a little more reasonable. Maybe go in even one more, or we just need to build the front. Yeah, let's even go in yet another block. I suppose I could just make them all in a line like that. That might make more sense, huh? Yeah, that probably makes more sense. That's pretty good. Okay, and those things, very effective weapon against the small wooden boats like you're going to find at the beginning of the campaign. Okay. Another thing we'll do right at this point. Let me see. I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna hit G to turn off that placement, to unlock the placement rotation. Just while I'm thinking of it. See, we've got the center of mass indicator here. One thing. This is a tip that came from the actual game designer himself. We have this other block. Go up here to blocks. Go to lead block. We're going to put some weight down here in the bottom of the keel in order to give it some more stability. If we want to place that pretty close to just right in the dead center of mass. And, there's things that we can do if it turns out that it needs more. But I just want to kind of place one block there to remind me of that, yeah, I may need some more weight down there. Okay, so now we have the very beginning of a boat. Yay. Everybody gotta like boats. Okay. Next thing, I'll tell you what. Next thing I want to do is I want to hit caps lock. I'm going to turn the thing loose so it's no longer floating up in the air. There we go. And it floats, stays fairly stable. I will also mention that in my options I've turned down the wave height so the thing isn't tossing and turning just constantly while attempting to build it. Hit B to get out of build mode, and I want to get my little avatar dude over there onto this boat. So he does this big jump on his rocket boots. He doesn't quite make it. Yeah, Bob's back up. I bet he makes it this time. Alright, cool. Hit B to go to build mode again. Alright, and let's see, I believe we'll just want to keep this symmetry on. Look in that direction, hit N. Yeah, there we go. Mirroring in that direction. Seems to me like a good idea. Okay. Let's see, before we get into doing things with the engine and stuff, something that we know that this boat is going to need. Let me see. We know it's going to need propellers. We know it's going to need rudder. Here, let me look at it doing it this way. I think I got an idea. I got an idea. I'm actually want to go in here, just go in just to this first layer, and I'm going to remove a couple blocks. We wait till it's turned red. Do right click, it pulls out towards us. Bam. All right, because I want my propellers to be kind of recessed underneath there. Go over here, go to water and boat propeller. All right, I want it to have 3 propellers. So we'll put one in the middle there, put 2 on either side of it, like that. Yeah, looks to me like that works pretty good. And we'll give it a couple of rudders. 1 rudder, 2 rudders. I think I was experimenting earlier, and I figured out the 2 worked pretty well. So move over 1 block, go right there. Okay, yeah, the rudders, yeah, they're down there in the water. That works okay. Okay, so the next thing that I want to do, you may have noticed that whenever I dropped this boat down into the water, oh yeah, I can actually see it if we come over here. Whoops, I'm hitting wrong buttons. Yeah, you can see we've got some water that's actually coming inside. If we go, let me see, hit E again, and we're still in this water tab. We've got this thing over here, air pump. Click one of those. I'm going to go and put this one up front. Whoops, I keep on hitting the Alt button. There we go. And it takes time to really learn how to maneuver. And right click. Okay, that puts a pump. That will keep the water out of the bottom of your boat. Yeah, so what did we do? 82 cubic meters is how big I got the interior volume of my boat. It is not breached. Buoyancy. Yeah, between 1 and 2 cubic meters, 0% is flooded. There's ways to actually control the buoyancy of those, and that's how submarines work. That may be another tutorial we'll get into some other time. Okay, well that's cool. That works. Makes me happy. Okay, and another thing I want to do before we start playing with the engine, this boat is going to need some control. We'll need a way to steer it. So yeah, hit E, we go over here to this one labeled control. First thing I want to do is I want to get a chair. The chair isn't perfectly necessary. You can control vehicles with your avatar just standing or even walking around on the vehicle, but the chair makes it easier, more convenient. So let's grab the chair. Let's place that somewhere up here. You know, I just want it like forward of the center line. Yeah, right about there. Okay. There is a chair for my avatar to sit in. You may wonder why a robot needs a chair, but he does. Also in the control tab, we have this over here labeled Vehicle Controller. Click on that. We have 2 options in there. I want to take a look at this one first, the ship's wheel. Let's go ahead and click on that. I'm going to place that, let me see, just 1 block in front of the chair, lower it down, and we'll put it right here. I just want to look at this thing. It's kind of outrageously huge. That may work for I don't know what kind of design aesthetic you're going for. I think that that wheel, just the looks of it, it's bigger than I need for this boat. I think that's if you're going to be trying to make a model of a clipper ship or big galleon kind of a thing, you know. Maybe that'd be more effective. Let's go with, but we have another option. This vehicle controller, just a generic vehicle controller. This will change. This can control all kinds of things. Land, sea, and air. Place that, and look, there it goes. That is a more reasonable wheel for us. And you can see, yeah, that we actually here we have this new icons. These new icons just showed up over there. You can hit the buttons. You can actually see if you turn the wheel, the animation on the wheel changes. You know, for steering. The rudders don't actually animate when that happens, but the wheel up front does. I'm actually going to hit B to get out of the build mode, and I'm going to look at the chair. Press Q. All right, and now my avatar dude is in the chair. He won't sit in the chair, but he's kind of standing on it. I guess it's more of a robot docking station. Really, I guess he kind of plugs into it. All right, press B again. Get back into build mode. Okay, so now, yeah, he is stable there. So now, finally, only thing this boat is lacking is means of propulsion. It's something to power. I mean, we got the we have the propellers, but we don't have no way to actually power them. Okay, so I'm going to put the engine up back here. First thing I want to do, I want to give a level place. I'm going to get one more block, get a wood block, and that kind of hole, that hollow spot that we have down here, I want to fill that in. There we go. And actually, one other thing that I want to do before doing the engine, go over here to resources. Resources, this is got fuel storage tanks, ammo barrels, resource gatherers for, the campaign mode. What I want is fuel storage tank. I figure I'll just put that all back here. This will be the whole propulsion compartment, the propulsion section. How many what do I want to do? Let's say, yeah, I'm putting it right down in the middle of this notch, this trench down the middle. Let's say 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, it's just kind of a guess. Sure, that should be enough, right? Yeah, we'll do 4 of them. Okay, because I'm going to put the engine back here in that space. I didn't want that space underneath to be wasted anyway. All right, let's go over to engines. Engines are actually they're the very basics of them are incredibly simple, but there's a huge variety of depth that you can get into in refining and optimizing the design. It is not the purpose of this tutorial to really figure out the perfectly optimal engine. I just want one that'll work and it'll demonstrate all the various pieces. That's what I'm after. And you have other things too, electric engines, generators, but we're not doing that. First thing you need, engine block. This is the root part that all other engine parts connect to, but the engine block does not actually create any power on its own. Okay, so there we are. We can actually hover over it. Turn maximum power output 0.1. I guess that's because the program won't let it be 0. Okay, let me see. So we want just a very simple engine coming off this thing. Let's go back here. Next thing you need, crankshaft. The crankshaft is another part that does not actually create any power, but it is what the cylinders connect to. The crankshaft has to go in front of the engine block. You can only connect it in a straight line in front of there. Let's start off with just 2 of them, because we're going for simple here. So yeah, still, what do we have? Maximum power output 0.1. Okay. Whoop, here we are. Okay, slight discontinuity there. I recorded some, but then I don't know, I got a little carried away, and I had to remind myself that the goal of the tutorial is to do a very simple engine. We're not interested in attempting to optimize anything. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we just have to get the basics. We have an engine block. We have a couple of crankshafts there. Actually, for what I want to do, because we're making this very basic, I want 1 block of crankshaft. To just do a demonstration, I want to show how this isn't necessarily, it doesn't have to be monstrously complicated. Next part we need is a cylinder. Cylinder is the part that actually makes the power. We'll put one of those right up on top. Cylinders can go on top of the crankshaft, or they could go to either side like that. We're just going to go with 1 for right now. We can see my power production 1, my fuel use ratio modifier 1. Go and highlight over the engine block, and it tells you, yeah, maximum power output 1.2, fuel use per power usage 0.01. It tells you how much power you got and how efficient it is. Hit B, get out of the build mode. Why is my camera way over here? That's surprising. Okay. It over here, because I just wanted to demonstrate. If we throttle up, it'll be kind of slow. Why is my camera not staying with the... Hang on, let's... Tab. My camera was confused. Alright. Yeah, we are slow. but we can definitely move. And yeah, so 3 parts there: engine block, crankshaft, and cylinder. And you have a powered boat. You can move, you can steer, you can ram things with the ram on your front of your boat. Let's not do that right now. One thing I'll point out, okay, over here, let me see, whenever I first picked up this game, some of the icons over on the screen, they puzzled me. I and Y to steer, even though I've remapped my keys, because I do that for just about every game. T to throttle up, G to throttle down, and also to go in reverse. This icon, yeah, there we go, let's ram that thing, yay. This palm icon with T plus G, that means if you hit T and G at the same time, then that chops your throttle to 0. Which, understand, that doesn't necessarily, that isn't stepping on the brakes. It's a boat, it's moving in water, it's got inertia, it'll keep moving for a bit, but yeah, you can see your propellers stopped turning, so eventually it will drift to a stop. Alright, I just wanted to make the point that this boat will work. Just these 3 engine parts: engine block, crankshaft, and cylinder. But we want to get just a little more adventurous than that. We want to get all these different parts. Okay, so what we say our maximum power output, 1.2? Yeah. Alright, get back into build mode. Let's turn our symmetry back on. First thing I want to do is I want to have, this will be a 3-cylinder engine. So we already have one on top. Now let's have one on either side. So 3 cylinders total. Takes our maximum power output up to 3.7. Okay. I'll tell you what, let's get another crankshaft. I don't have to do this. This is something that you don't have to press E and get into here. If you already have one of these parts, you can highlight. So I can highlight this crankshaft part, hit R, and that copies it. And then I can go and I can paste it in here somewhere. Right about there. Ta-da. Okay. Okay, yeah, I'm going to say ahead of time, this is not, what I'm about to do is not the most efficient engine or most powerful engine. It is the simplest engine that uses all of the engine parts that I can do just to demonstrate them. First thing I want to do, let's go in here, and I want to we're going to use 3 carburetors, 1 carburetor per cylinder. Now, as I place these things, they're going to have them sitting right up in front. As I place these things, let me tell you, I went to school for a couple of years. I went to mechanics school, airplane mechanics school. I studied engines, got out of there, and then I had this career for a while where I made my living fixing aircraft engines in addition to other things. My point is, I know how engines work. I know that you don't get 1 carburetor per cylinder in a real-world engine, except in some extremely odd exceptions. So please don't spam the comments with telling me how absurd and ridiculous and horrible a thing it is. I know this. This is a necessary abstraction that the game needs in order to give you flexibility of how to put the engines together in order to, so you can produce the type of engine you want, whether you want a powerful engine, whether you want a fuel efficient engine, and whether, say, for example, my engine here is going to fit in this space that's 3 blocks across. What if you want an engine that you can fit in 5 blocks across, but you only want it to have 2 spaces high? I mean, you could do that, but anyway. Next part, let's go in here. Let's get exhaust. Exhaust connects to cylinders. Cylinders, they can go in front, they can go in back. Commonly, they go on top. I'm going to put 1 exhaust on top of each cylinder. Okay. Another piece we can have is a supercharger. Superchargers do not connect to cylinders. Superchargers connect to carburetors. Yes, I know this is ridiculous that that they do not connect to the exhaust. Just let it go. Alright, so I'm going to put a supercharger on top of each carburetor. Here we go. Like that. Now already can see what this is doing. What our power was, what is like, it was single digits, was like 7 or something, and our power now was 38. Yeah, 38.6. And one final piece that we can use, we have the engine's own fuel tank. What this does is it makes it more fuel efficient. It takes some of the engine and then stores it in a tank. It's actually connected to the engine. It's, oh no, was my game freezing up? Okay, that was scary. I don't know why it did that. Okay, so I'm going to, actually I need to place a couple of blocks, a couple more blocks for these things to sit on. Let me get just a wood block right here, wood block right there. And I'll do, yep, like that. There we go. Engines, let me see. Engine's own fuel tank. Those things. Oh, wait a second. What am I thinking? I only needed this one right here. See, I've started to connect it to the superchargers. They don't work that way. They connect. Engine's own fuel tank connects to carburetors. Put 2 of them right there like that. 1 of them right there like that. And see what we have now. Okay, so our fuel use per power usage was like, what, 0.1, I think? Or was it 0.01? In any case, it's significantly less fuel per power now. That is more efficient, and our maximum power output is all the way up there to 55, which seems like, you know, a lot. Okay. Extremely simple engine. An exhaust on top of each cylinder, a carburetor in front of each cylinder, a supercharger on top of each carburetor, and a fuel supply attached to the front of each carburetor. Can't be any more simple than that, and still use all the pieces. Let's get out of build mode and get my camera set up. I should have just left it where it was. Okay, now we'll throttle up and see what it does for us. Speed! Yeah, okay, we're like twice as fast as we were before. Isn't that exciting? Whee! I want to go ram something again with the spikes off the nose of this thing. Okay, camera's starting to lose track of where I am. Here we go, here we go, here we go. I need to come up with some kind of battle cry. Yarr! Maybe because we're pirates. Alright, and it works. Hit T and G. Slow that thing down. Extremely simple boat, and this is more than enough to, believe me, this boat as it is right now will win the first fight in the campaign. I am pleased with it, and it's, you know, simple enough. You saw how simple that was to put together. Anybody could put this together. Yeah, and you could do this and you can win fights with it. Here, let's load in another enemy. Hit X. Let's go to ships. Sea Viper is the simplest one, the first one. There he is. He's over there. Let's throttle up and go after him. What is he shooting at? And also, Sea Viper is not too intelligent. He was actually shooting at that other... Oh, hang on. Now he's shooting at me. Oh! Right in the engine. Of course, he's so weak that his cannonball actually bounced right off my engine. Ha! Can't hit nothing now, except you hit me already. Yar. Oh, I love ramming things. Oh, that's excellent. Oh, hey, stop that. Actually shot my little avatar dude. Shot my avatar bot. It's been far too much time beating up the weakest little AI ships in here. Hey! Knocked a chunk off my bow. Take that! Yeah, okay, in the first part of the campaign, the enemies are about that tough. So, hey, the boat works. As we'll shut her down. Escape, let's save vehicle. Would have had something, tutorial boat 1. Yeah, save over tutorial boat 1. There it is. Pretty simple, if you ask me. I wonder if, I think maybe that lead block down there wasn't actually necessary for this one, but it could be later. If you start putting a bunch of weight up on top, you need to counterbalance it. Okay, so thus endeth the tutorial. I hope it was fun. I hope yeah, you can use this and just make your own very simple boats and boat around, ram stuff, and see how fun it is. Yeah, it's been fun. I'll talk to you later. Goodbye.